Hello, Dr. Palermo here with your week 4 video for my EDCI 702FZ Fayetteville crew. Hello, folks. Hope you're well this week. I have some readings to note, a few notes about the readings, and some discussion boards for you to work on this week. You should be working on your ONA and your CNA and thinking a little bit about the PE that's coming down the line, but your readings for this week, well, there's your APA tip for the week, all about past tense research that you cite has happened in the past, so make sure that you're talking about it in the past tense. Readings this week include chapters 3 and 4 from Marsh and Willis, chapter 3 from Ellie Drago-Severson's Leading Adult Learning, and some reading about your CNA and OA. But in Marsh and Willis, chapter 3, I want to focus on a fellow named Ralph Tyler. Now, if you've not heard about him, here is where learning some history of curriculum and instruction is going to be important for you as CNI leaders. Especially if you move into the central office and are writing curriculum, you really need to know where it's coming from, what the basic uses, goals, objectives of your curriculum are, and how we kind of got here. I think if you have not ever heard of him before, you're going to agree that Ralph Tyler has been huge in his impact on American education. Since the 1930s and the 8-year study, there's been a focus on objectives, on basically being more scientific in our analysis of what we want to teach the children, and determining, okay, so if the objective is to have a work-ready workforce, or to teach all children reading, writing, and arithmetic, then what activities can we align to meet those objectives so that we get the outcomes that we want? The language of Tyler and objectives is infused throughout everything that we do. So here is this dialogue post about chapter 3 and Tyler is asking you to think about that. You write objectives on the board every day. Do you have to? Why do you? Establish an argument, agreeing with Kleberg for or against Tyler's rationale, and do we need objectives or not? That's the essence of it. And if we didn't have objectives, what else might drive our curriculum? So think about that and reflect and write a little bit. You're asked to read chapter 4 on curriculum theorizing as well. And I want you to look in particular at item 4.2 on page 97. What is curriculum theorizing and what is a theory? I hope to spend a little bit of time in our next session, our next face-to-face session, on theories and what is theory, since theory development is the name of this curriculum module in your program. But what is a theory? We talked a little bit about that last time. Dive in deeper there, though. You will see, I hope, this is my view, I have closed a dialogue post about theory, so we'll come back to that later. I do want you to read in Leading Adult Learning, and this is the first of the 4 pillar practices that we will explore in greater depth when you do presentations on them. But you're to read about teaming this week, and you know teaming. I bet you are part of a team, or you've seen teams operate in schools. Check out the relationships that Barth describes on page 73 in this chapter on teaming. As Barth writes, adults engage in parallel play, adversarial relationships, congenial relationships, or collegial relationships. Maybe that'll give you something to read and write about in your dialogue post for Leading Adult Learning. Also, do check out the next page, chapter 3, page 74, Pillar Practices for Growth. Key elements of successful teaming are listed on page 74. If you are trying to determine the current state of teaming at your school and some suggestions to enhance teaming at your school, the list on page 74 is a pretty good place to start. You're also to do some reading and writing this week about leading collaboratively, and look at the rubrics for the OA, the CNA. You're to lead collaboration, and you're also supposed to demonstrate this on that log, that chart that you're filling out as you go. Explore the collaboration resources here. Think about one's protocols or tools that you're using to enhance collaboration, to lead collaboration, and write those into your OA, your CNA, such that use this, please, as part of your CNA and OA. And you should be working on your CNA and OA and thinking a little bit about the PE. I hope you have had a meeting to perhaps meet for the first time with your data team. Have you been pulling data? In just 2 weeks, I'm going to ask you to submit to me the introductory or the overview section. It's called the overview. It's the introduction, the first section of the OA for formative assessment. I want to see that you're working on it. I also want to try to give you some feedback on your writing. So this will be another layer, another step of formative assessment on your writing. Coming up in 2 weeks, you'll be asked to submit the first part, the overview part of your OA, to me in Blackboard for formative assessment. So read, write at least one of these dialogue posts on chapter 4 in Marsh and Willis. Will not show up in your review, and you do not need to do that one this week. Hope you have a great week. Write to me if you have questions. I've been enjoying your posts in the discussion boards. No particular shout out this week, but lots of good dialogue going on there, and lots of candidates helping one another, which I really appreciate. Hope you have a great week. See you soon.